Once her laughter filled my skies, her eyes the sunrise of my soul. Now even the wind feels empty, and the stars dim their light when I whisper her name. A heart doesn't break in noise, it breaks in silence. When you smile, but your soul falls to its knees. The weight of goodbye. She said goodbye as if it were just a word, but that word carried storms, shattering years of faith and fire. I stood there between prayer and pain, watching her walk away, with half of me in her shadow. Even kings bleed, but their crowns hide the wounds. The desert inside. I walk across my own heart, a desert made of memories. Every step cuts deeper, every grain whispers her name. The moonlight falls on my hands, the same hands that once held hers. Now they hold only air and the echo of love that slipped through the fingers of fate. A cry no one hears. People see my smile and call it strength. But strength isn't what they think. It's crying in the dark and wiping your own tears before dawn arrives. My chest still carries her goodbye, like a secret flame, burning softly, never dying. When dreams betray you, I dream of her often, not the woman she is now, but the soul I once knew. In my dreams, she still loves me. In my dreams, she still stays. And then I wake, and the silence hits harder than truth ever could. Dreams are cruel. They give back what life has taken. Allah knows my pain. I hide it from the world, but not from Him. He hears my quiet sobs, my trembling hands in, that I never wished her harm, even if it meant losing her. Because love taught me this. Real hearts don't hold grudges. They hold dua, the prince without his. I am known by many names, but she called me simply mine. Now even my title feels heavy, like a crown made of sorrow. Every poem I write bleeds her memory. Every word is a prayer for the heart that broke mine. For even in pain, I still thank Allah for letting me love so deeply, so purely, so completely. I once thought love was the reason I lived, but when it left, I learned the truth. I lived for Allah. Pain became my teacher. It took what I wanted to give me what I needed. Every heartbreak brought me closer to prayer, and every tear became a verse written between me and my Lord. The nights of restless souls. There are nights when my chest still feels heavy, when her memory returns like rain, soft, cold, and endless. But I no longer run from the storm. I stand in it and I raise my hands, because Allah made even storms carry mercy within their clouds. Healing isn't forgetting. People say move on, but hearts don't move. They heal where they were broken. Healing is not forgetting her. It's forgiving her and forgiving myself for holding on so long. Now, when I remember her, I don't bleed, I breathe. Between love and loss, I've learned that love doesn't end when people leave. It ends when hearts stop caring, and mine never did. So I let her go, not out of weakness, but out of strength. Because when Allah closes one door, He opens another that leads straight to peace. The desert of reflection. I walk alone through the desert still. The silence comforts me. Each step feels lighter. Each breeze whispers wisdom. The desert once held my pain. Now it holds my prayers. The same stars that saw me break now shine upon my healing. When faith holds the heart, there was a time I thought I needed her to breathe, but I learned it was Allah who gave my heart its rhythm. Now I speak less and pray more. I chase fewer faces and seek only His mercy. Love for people fades, but love for Allah only deepens with time. Letters to the future. If she ever reads my poems one day, I hope she knows there is no anger left, only prayer, because the man she knew died in his heartbreak, and the man who writes now was born from it. May Allah bless her path and keep mine steady, for we were never meant to last, only to learn. The light after pain. The broken heart was not a curse, it was an awakening. Allah broke me to rebuild me stronger and softer in soul. Now, when I smile, it's not to hide pain, it's to thank Him for carrying me through it. The peace of surrender. I no longer ask why. I no longer look back. Because when you trust Allah, you don't chase what left. You wait for what's written. And sometimes peace isn't found in answers, but in surrender. The heart that belongs to Him. My heart once belonged to a woman, but now it belongs to its creator. The same heart that broke in love now beats in worship, for even in losing her, I found Him, and that is the greatest love of all. Before heartbreak, I stood proud, a prince of dreams, a son of desert light. After heartbreak, I learned the power of falling to my knees and finding peace in sujood. It was there, on the prayer mat soaked in tears, that I found the strength to rise again. For only when a man bows to Allah does he stand unbroken before the world. They see gold on my robes, but they don't see the cracks beneath. Every crown hides a story, and mine is written in pain. There was a time I thought I needed her to breathe, but I learned it was Allah who gave my heart its rhythm. Now I speak less and pray more. I chase fewer faces and seek only His mercy. Love for people fades, but love for Allah only deepens with time. Letters to the future. If she ever reads my poems one day, I hope she knows there is no anger left, only prayer, because the man she knew died in his heartbreak, and the man who writes now was born from it. May Allah bless her path and keep mine steady, for we were never meant to last, only to learn. The light after pain, the broken heart was not a curse, it was an awakening. Allah broke me to rebuild me stronger and softer in soul. Now, when I smile, it's not to hide pain, it's to thank Him for carrying me through it. The peace of surrender. I no longer ask why. I no longer look back. Because when you trust Allah, you don't chase what left. You wait for what's written. And sometimes peace isn't found in answers, but in surrender, the heart that belongs to Him. My heart once belonged to a woman, but now it belongs to its Creator. The same heart that broke in love now beats in worship. For even in losing her, I found Him, and that is the greatest love of all. They see me walking through gold halls. They see the prince, the poet, the calm, but they never see the man who learned to walk alone with a storm inside his chest. Strength isn't born of power, it's born of pain, and I have carried both. In silence, every tear that didn't fall became a brick in my soul, a palace built from patience, the smile that lied. My smile is not a lie, but a shield. Behind it, there are nights. I spoke to the moon instead of people. I told it everything, how love felt like prayer and loss felt like death. The moon never judged me, it only listened, a silent friend to a silent king. Shadows and crowns. The crown teaches you balance, how to hold grace. When your heart is breaking, how to lead others. When you're lost within, I learned that silence can be nobler than words, and tears holier than pride. In the quiet halls of my thoughts, I found Allah waiting where love once lived. The lessons hidden in loss. If love made me human, loss made me wise. Every heartbreak reminds the soul of its purpose, to return to its maker, not its memories. Pain taught me gratitude, emptiness taught me prayer, and distance taught me faith. Even the heart that shattered became a map leading back to peace. The face in the mirror, there was a time I didn't recognize my reflection, a man tired of pretending peace. Now I look again and see the same eyes, but softer, the same heart, but steadier. For heartbreak doesn't destroy you. It reveals who you are when everything else is gone. The weight of words. People say I write beautifully, but these poems are scars inked with pain and sealed with prayer. Every verse is a wound stitched with wisdom, every line a tear dried by faith. She was my muse once, now Allah is. And that shift changed everything. The desert secret. In the desert, I learned the truth of strength. Even when the sand burns, the dunes stand tall. That's what heartbreak did. It tested my roots. It asked, who are you when love leaves? And I answered, I am still his servant. The desert smiled, and I knew I had healed. The beauty of patience. Patience is not waiting. It is worship. It is trusting the unseen, even when your heart trembles. Every delay, every loss is written with wisdom, and what Allah takes away in pain, He replaces with peace. I no longer chase love. I chase serenity, and when I find it, I find Him. The heart that forgave. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is freedom. To forgive her was to free myself, because hate keeps you tied to what hurt you. But prayer sets you free. Now I send du'as with every breath, for her, for me, for the love that once was, and the faith that still is. The king who cries for Allah. They call me Fazza, the rescuer, the poet, the prince. But in my prayers, I am just a servant, a man who cries before his Lord. Tears in his presence are not signs of weakness. They are crowns of humility. And in that surrender, I found my throne again, not of gold, but of grace. When love becomes light, love doesn't die. It transforms. It becomes kindness and the will to make the world gentler. She was my lesson. Allah was my cure. And the broken heart was the path that led me home. The end that is a beginning. If my heart must break again, let it break for Him alone. For every time it shattered, he rebuilt it stronger, purer, closer. This is not an ending, it is rebirth. The prince with the broken heart is no longer broken. He is awakened. There comes a morning after every storm when the heart feels quiet, not empty, but calm. The tears have fallen, the prayers have risen, and what's left is peace that no one can take away. The same pain that once drowned me now teaches me how to float. The waves I feared became my path to Allah. The same pain that once drowned, I did not find light. Light found me. It slipped through the cracks of my broken heart and whispered, "You were never lost, only being guided." Every wound became a window, and through it I saw the mercy I was blind to before. What I thought was an ending was really my beginning. Lessons written in dust. The desert holds my footprints, each one a story, each story a lesson. It has seen me fall, rise, and fall again, but never give up, because Allah never leaves the one who calls his name with sincerity. And when I called, he answered, not with what I wanted, but with what I needed. The power of stillness. Not every battle needs to be fought. Sometimes peace comes from standing still. In stillness, the heart learns to listen, and when it listens, it hears Allah say, "Be patient, my servant. What is yours will come. When your soul is ready, now I no longer chase time. I trust it, because what's written never misses its moment." The return of strength. I used to think strength meant never breaking. Now I know it means breaking and rebuilding again and again. My hands once held sorrow, but now they hold prayer. My heart once sought her love, but now it seeks his light. The same tears that weaken me are now the proof of my faith. Hope in every scare. Scars don't ruin the skin. They remind it that healing happened. And hearts are no different. Every scar I carry is a memory of mercy. I am not ashamed of my pain. It made me kinder. It taught me how to understand others silently, because I, too, have been unseen. Love reborn as kindness. When love leaves, don't bury it. Transform it. Let it become a prayer, a kind word, a soft gaze. The world needs more hearts that love deeply and still chose to be gentle. If love made me human, pain made me divine, not in power, but in compassion, the whisper of destiny Sometimes I feel her name pass through my thoughts, not as pain, but as peace. Maybe that's what destiny means, not to own, but to understand. Every soul that touches us is written with reason. Some stay, some leave, but all lead us closer to Allah, the Prince and the Poet. People call me Fazza, the poet of love, the Prince of Hearts. But what they don't see is that every poem I write is a conversation with Allah. He breaks my heart to open it, then fills it with words that heal others. Maybe that's my purpose, to turn pain into poetry and poetry into prayer. The light after the storm. The storm has passed, but I no longer fear the rain, because I have learned Allah never sends storms to destroy, only to cleanse. The sun shines brighter when the clouds have cried, and hearts shine stronger when they've broken and healed. So, if love breaks me again, I will not beg it to stay. I will thank it for teaching me how to find Allah once more. The new dawn. The Fazza who once wept now smiles in remembrance. The Prince who once loved now worships with gratitude. I am no longer waiting for someone. I am waiting for peace, and I know it will come because Allah never forgets. The hearts that whispered His name in the dark, the light within me. I searched for light in others and found it within myself, a light lit by faith, nurtured by pain, and guarded by prayer. The broken heart was not my end. It was the key to finding my soul. So now I stand not as the man who lost love, but as the man who found himself through Allah. There comes a time when silence becomes the loudest prayer, when words fade, but the heart continues to whisper, Ya Allah, guide me. I have learned that not every pain needs to be spoken. Some pains are meant to be lived, felt deeply, and then released into the hands of the Almighty, because the silence between my sobs was where I truly met Him. Love beyond the world. They said love ends when people part, but I have seen love that transcends even distance and time. It's the love that doesn't crave possession, but prays for the other's peace. It's the love that says, if not with me, then may you still smile beneath Allah's mercy.